Imagine this, an ordinary metal spoon floating silently in space, high above the Earth, tumbling end over end, cold and forgotten. Perhaps it slipped out of an astronaut's glove during a spacewalk, or maybe it was accidentally ejected from the International Space Station's waste disposal. Whatever the case, this humble utensil now has a new destiny, falling toward Earth. But could such a small object actually kill someone? To answer that, we have to look at what it really means for something to fall from space. You see, space isn't just up, it's orbit. Things don't just drop straight down from the sky. When something is in orbit, it's moving sideways at thousands of kilometers per hour. It stays in orbit because, while it's falling toward Earth due to gravity, it's also moving so fast horizontally that it keeps missing the ground. That's why satellites and the ISS don't plummet. They're essentially falling around the Earth. Now, if you just toss a spoon out of the ISS, it won't simply fall. It'll stay in orbit, drifting slowly away, riding its own trajectory around the planet. Over time, atmospheric drag from the thin traces of air in low Earth orbit will slow it down, very slowly, maybe over months, maybe even years. Eventually, though, the spoon begins to descend. As it falls into denser parts of the atmosphere, things start to change. The air thickens, the spoon hits more and more particles, and that friction turns into heat, an enormous amount of it. The spoon begins to glow. You've seen this process before, a meteor streaking across the night sky. That's what's happening here. Your spoon becomes a shooting star. But here's the twist. Spoons are small. Unlike meteors made of dense rock or metal, that might be the size of a bowling ball or larger, a spoon has very little mass. As it descends, the intense heat and friction will likely cause it to vaporize completely before it ever reaches the ground. It's cooked alive by physics. Still, let's say the impossible happens. Let's say your spoon is made of some futuristic, heat-resistant alloy. It doesn't burn up. It survives the atmospheric plunge. Now we have an object, about 20 grams of metal, falling from the sky at terminal velocity. But wait, what's terminal velocity? That's the maximum speed something can reach when falling through the atmosphere, because air resistance eventually balances the pull of gravity. For a human body, that's around 200 kilometers per hour. For a spoon, which is small and not very aerodynamic, it's much slower, maybe around 150 to 180 kilometers per hour, depending on its shape and orientation. Would getting hit by a spoon at that speed hurt? Absolutely. Could it kill you? That depends. If it struck you in the head, especially the temple or the eye, yes, it could be fatal. The odds are tiny, but the force would be concentrated into a small point. It could fracture bone or even pierce the skull. If it hit your chest or shoulder, it might bruise or break the skin, but it probably wouldn't be deadly. A direct hit to the heart, throat, or spine, that's another story. Freak accidents happen. But the real danger here isn't just physics, it's probability. The Earth is massive, people are tiny. The likelihood that a spoon survives re-entry and lands on someone is so absurdly small, it's practically zero. Statistically, you're far more likely to be struck by lightning multiple times in your life than to be hit by a falling spoon from orbit. Yet the idea lingers. There's something haunting and beautiful about it. A spoon, a tool of daily life, humble and harmless, turns into a spacefaring missile, a cosmic bullet fired blindly toward Earth. It reminds us how vast space is, how fragile life is, and how even the most mundane object can become extraordinary under the right or wrong circumstances. Could a spoon falling from space kill you? Yes, in theory, but don't worry. If something from orbit does ever hit you, it'll probably be space junk the size of a refrigerator, or, more likely, nothing at all. Still, next time you look up at a clear sky and see a shooting star, you might wonder, was that a meteor, or just someone's lost spoon coming home?